everyone, Shoshana reporting for TheatrePizzazz.com. Today we're having a royal time as we meet the cast and creative team of the new musical, Diana.
We love her in England, and my family has loved her whole life. And I want to pay respect to a woman that has changed our culture and our history forever.
I always knew Prince Charles as like a very snappy dresser, well-spoken, educated guy, and I knew Princess Diana as a sort of glamour icon in the press, but I didn't know as much about their daily lives as I now cannot stop reading about it. I'm absorbing more and more material every single day.
Fascinated by the royals, and I was reading about Diana, and we're both the same age that she would have been. So I just sort of learned a lot about her, and the more I read about her, I got especially fascinated by how remarkably empathetic she was, how much she cared for people, and how much she wanted to give back and help people. And I thought, wow, that's a great trait in a central character in a musical. And then combine that with the theatricality of the royals and the human story of the love triangle, and I gave this guy a call and I said, what do you think about doing a musical about Princess Diana?
And I said, has anybody else done it? And he said no. And I went, okay, let's try this one out. Let's see how it goes.
In many ways, I think I did a sort of an outside-in approach to developing the role. There's so much footage of her on YouTube, and I deep dived into hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of watching her. And then the next stage was sort of reading the stuff she wrote, letters and all that sort of stuff, to sort of getting into her mind. But yeah, playing someone who is so in people's minds of how they spoke and moved and stuff, it's sort of a physicality and a voice texture that needs to be embodied.
Our story takes us from when Diana met Charles when she was 19 through their divorce and the moment she asked the Queen for permission to exit the royal family. And we're rehearsing that scene between Diana and the Queen, and then you go home at night, turn on the television, and there's reporting on Harry having the same conversation with his grandmother a generation later. So it feels like we're telling a kind of an origin story about the current moment.
Stood outside of Buckingham Palace, with everybody else, but I haven't been on the inside yet. I mean, I've done some theater in Britain, so I sort of feel like I've been among the royals. Those are theater royalty.
And she wears in the entire evening 35 different looks. So she's barely in them very long because we go so quickly through her life. And at a certain point, near the end of Act 1, she realizes that she can use clothing choices as weapons.
A remarkable story of this young woman that really found her voice and changed the world. And to get to explore that and tell that story in a very human way is really exciting, and it's rewarding in a way.
I think people who come to see the show are going to learn a lot about these people, and they're going to have a whale of a good time.